Hello and welcome to my channel. This is the UK Atheist. Today I'm going to talk about the argument from ignorance, otherwise known as appeal to ignorance. I have honestly lost count of how many times these arguments have been put forward to me, so I decided to make a video to address it. Feel free to point any theist towards this video to explain to them why they are wrong. First, I shall give a simple definition. An argument from ignorance is asserting a proposition to be true, simply because it has never been proven false. If you are a theist, please keep this definition in mind for future arguments. You will see the fallacy when I explain it in this video. Arguing from ignorance for a theist is taking the unknown and asserting a God as the solution. For example, God created the universe. No one can prove this wrong. Therefore, it must be correct. What theists fail to see is this represents a false dichotomy, because it excludes a third option. A false dilemma is as follows, so please theists bear this in mind as this is incorrect. Point 1. If a proposition is not disproven, then it cannot be considered as false and therefore must be considered as true. This is a false dilemma. Number 2. If a proposition has not been proven, then it cannot be considered true and must therefore be considered false. This is also a false dilemma. The fact is, there are literally infinite solutions for the answer to the question of the unknown. The origins of the universe could be anything. Off the top of my head, it could be any of the following, say a time paradox, or the universe has always been there. It could be that fairies created everything 5 minutes ago and gave us all memories. Or how about the flying spaghetti monster? Or I'll just make one up. How about the almighty frog king named Barry? The fact of the matter is, unless you have real evidence for the claim, asserting a god is an argument from ignorance. An argument from ignorance may be used as a rationalization by a person who realizes that he or she has no real reason for holding their particular belief. So theists, now you know what an argument from ignorance is. I'll give you an example similar to your own argument, which will show why the fallacy should not be used. Example: Zeus was the god who was thought to throw lightning bolts from the sky. People made up the god of Zeus, because back then they could not explain where lightning came from and why. This was an argument from ignorance. They did not know where the lightning came from, therefore it was totally unexplainable to them. Now, we do not know the origins of the universe. It is unexplainable to us. Back then, they inserted a god named Zeus. You assert the god of your religion. Both arguments are from ignorance. Every god that was made up has been proven wrong by science. The only reason your god has survived is because we have yet to discover the answer to what you claim your god is responsible for. But once we discover these answers, your god idea will die, along with the rest of the god ideas. You must understand that your God only exists through the unknown, and the fear of being alone in the universe. But once you let go of the God delusion, the universe becomes a more beautiful and magical place. But that topic is for another video. Another point I must address is an argument from ignorance can also be from the particular individual. For example, those who do not understand evolution usually argue from their own ignorance towards the subject. They do not know how evolution works, so they argue from their own definition of evolution, which is usually totally wrong. So unfortunately, their argument is only validated by their own definition of this argument. So they are basically saying that they don't understand something, so they are going to make something up to coincide with their belief system. So yes, creationists who argue against evolution are usually arguing from ignorance as well. So, that is my video explaining an argument from ignorance and why it cannot take place in a rational debate. Now, the question for my subscribers and all atheists out there. What is the best argument from ignorance you have ever heard? Mine, as I pointed out in the video, is about evolution. Quote, "Well, we don't see monkeys give birth to people." End quote. This was part argument from ignorance, but mostly idiocy. Please let me know your examples of people who have argued their point of view to you simply because they don't understand the right answer. This has been the UK Atheist. If you've enjoyed the video, or you found it informative, please subscribe. Also, leave your comment in the comment section. Thank you. See you next time.